There comes a time in life that staying quiet costs you more than speaking up. For many of us in midlife, we did not find our voice because we wanted to. We found our voice because silence stopped working. Silence did not heal us. Silence did not protect us. Silence did not bring us clarity. Silence slowly broke us down over time, and it made us feel like we were losing ourselves without even understanding why. So, this episode is not about becoming strong. This episode is about recognizing that you were already strong. And the real shift happened when you stopped ignoring what was already inside of you.
Morning breaks on a brand new climb. Shadows fade in the light this time. Every scar tells a seedling's tale.
Welcome back, beautiful onions, to Rise Again. We have walked through identity with God. We have walked through identity with self. We have walked through identity with assignment. And now we are finally at the final layer of identity and identity with strength. Okay. This is where our voice, our boundaries, our decisions, and our peace finally aligns together. This is where you stop shrinking in spaces that you used to feel small in. Okay? This is where you stop negotiating peace just to make other people comfortable. This is where you finally stand in who you are without apology. This says, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but power and love and a sound of mind. You love my big top hat? We bringing power to this one. Okay, this is strength. Okay, my story starts with there was a time in my life where I whispered. I did not say what I really felt. I did not say what I really needed. I did not say what actually happened in my body. Was going through menopause, and when it hit me, everything shifted all at once. My body changed. My emotions changed. My thoughts changed. And what made it harder was that nobody was explaining anything to me clearly. Doctors were not explaining. People were not listening to me. And when I sat in front of certain doctors, even male doctors, I felt like you could not even understand what I was going through. So I stopped trying to explain myself to people who could not carry the weight of what I was experiencing because they couldn't even understand what I was going to. They couldn't carry the weight of what I was trying to explain to them. So something in me shifted. I got all women doctors now. I stopped whispering and I started speaking. I was not polished. I was not perfect, but I was real because silence was no longer helping me. Silence was actually making everything worse. So now let's move right into the teaching block because we will have 4 sections today. In the teaching block for this section is silence has cost women for decades. Silence has cost us spiritually because we disconnected from what we were feeling. Silence has cost us emotionally because we carried things that we should have released. Silence has cost us physically because our bodies was trying to signal us and we ignored those signs. But now we are in a different time. We are the generation that is breaking the silence. So I want you to think about this. What changed in you when you stopped whispering? Okay. What truth have you been holding back because you were trying to keep the peace. And what has silence already cost you in your life? Your voice is something that you decided to use. I did. I decided to use my voice. That's why I'm here at beautifulonions.com. Beautiful Onions, helping women stop the silence. Okay. I love my top hat. I got it from St. Augustine. Okay. Let's move on. Now, once your voice shows up, identity has to shift. Yes, because you cannot speak truth and still live the old version of yourself. This came a point where I stayed quiet no longer worked for me. So it just came a point where quiet was not going to happen no more. I had to speak. The more I stayed quiet, the worse it became. 18 months, nobody in the room crying, don't know why, couldn't think, lost vocabulary, all of that. I was mental unstable. I was emotional drained. I was physically exhausted. I did not like what I saw in myself anymore. Nothing was changing, and I felt stuck. I felt depressed. I felt anxiety, and I knew something was off, but I did not have language for it. I could not speak it. I didn't know what it was. And no doctor told me it was menopause. And I had to face the truth. Staying quiet was hurting me. I had a decision to start speaking help, started going to doctors. I started asking better questions. I started paying attention to what my body was trying to tell me, because I knew something was wrong and I could not keep ignoring it. Growth required retirement. There is a version of you that cannot go where you are going. For me, it was the version of me that said yes to everything. It was the version of me that was overextended myself. It was the version of me that tried to keep everybody happy while I was slowly falling apart. And I had to retire that version of me. No is protection. No is not rejection. No is protecting your peace, your energy, and your health. So I want you to think about this. What version of you need to be retired in this season? Where are you still shrinking when you should know, you should stand firm? You know, those kids, we shrink with them and do stuff we shouldn't be doing. But that's when we should be saying no and stand on it. And can you say no without feeling like you owe somebody a full explanation? No, and keep walking. No, keep walking. I ain't doing that. Because your identity cannot grow if your boundaries are weak. Woo! Yeah. You might have to rewind and listen to this one again. But that's it for that section. I'm going to go on to my CTA before we take a small break. The Natural Healing Menopause Toolkit. Yes, you got to get it. There's some bundles out there on beautifulonion.com. I'm starting to do clarity sessions when you purchase the book with a few friends. Yes, this identity shift has to do with midlife and menopause. So the book is not a sit and read book at all. You don't just sit, open it, and read it. No, it is a toolkit. It is a resource for you in the beginning where you can just read about certain symptoms that you might have in menopause. But in the back is where some of the questions are you need to ask your doctors, some of the blood work questions that you need to know about and understand during menopause. And then it is some trackers, which is the most important thing for you. You got to start tracking some of these symptoms. I had probably about 20 symptoms when I first started tracking, but then I dug down to the ones that aggravated me the most. And then what I did there is determine, based on all my other medicines that I was taking, look, I don't want to take no more medicines from no more doctors. So I need to go ahead on and figure out how I can balance these other signs of my itchy skin, me not being able to sleep at night. So I started looking more into what are some natural things that can help me. And that's what this is book about. This book is about the symptoms that you may have that then you can find little natural things that can help you. So then you don't have to get put on doctor medicine because at this age, I got about 5 pill bottles and I told myself I wasn't going to be like my mom. But yes, so the natural menopause healing tool book is for tracking your symptoms, understanding your symptoms, evaluating what you're doing. Is it good or is it bad? Then when you get with your doctor, you'll be able to ask the questions and then show them, look, I've been doing this, and this is what's bothering me, and tracking it down. So when you get that, you ain't playing with them. I ain't with that out of chit chat. You tell me, oh, my sugar is good, or normally my diabetes are bad. You need to improve. No, let's look at how you can help me get this menopause under control or this rage that I have. So that is what the natural menopause healing tool book is about. Go to Beautiful Onions and get you a copy. And it is on ebook too. Go. It's a bundle coming up in the next few weeks. Go and get it. Short CTA break. Be right back.
Layers peeling back, one by one. Wrinkles whisper where the time has gone. A tear in my eye from the sting of truth. Beautiful.
Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. Here we go. When I say community, I mean that deeply because we are not taught how to walk through the seasons. We are not given the tools. We are not given the support. We are not even given the language to even understand what is happening to us. And especially in Black and brown women, we have been underserved decades and decades. So, we all understand that. And especially in this area for a long time, because research that they did was not on us. It was on another group of people. We have always been the caretakers. We have always shown up for everybody else, but nobody taught us how to take care of ourselves in the same way. So now I am serving women. I am serving and speaking to women. I am creating space where truth can actually be spoken without judgment. I am putting resources out there for women to be able to say, no, this is what is happening to me, and back it up with proof in their face and say, look, this is what I need, and this is my symptoms that I need to take care of, because I ain't worrying about somebody else. I'm worrying about me having the best life I can have. Okay. So the teaching block here is, let me say this very clear. Serving is not caring. Okay. Serving somebody ain't caring for somebody. Do not carry people anymore. I do not fix people. I do not rescue people. I provide information and I allow people to make the decisions for themselves. So I want you to think about this. Are you truly serving, or are you over caring people in your life? What I'm saying is, do you have a real community that supports you? And are you trying to handle everything by yourself? Because real strength in community means that you can walk with people without losing yourself in the process. Okay. So where I'm at is providing resources to women that I never had. And every time I sit down to look at my information when I go to the doctor, it was in multiple places. So I created a system that when I walk into the doctor's office, I have all my stuff there. And just last week, went into a doctor's office and they didn't have a report that had already came back. And they was trying to talk to me. I said, no, I already got the report. Here it is. And they made a copy from what I had and the information I had and from my other doctors. So I was able to carry on that conversation with information, evidence-based information that I keep now in my binders that I have that is my system. So then I can speak clearly and make sure they're doing what I need them to do. That's what I mean about community and support and making sure I'm 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 doing what I need to help women and also what I'm doing for my doctors so they can give me the right support. Now I'm a transition into once your community is aligned, okay, once I got everybody in my little community, my doctors, my therapists, and everything, your system has to align, and that's what's happening. My system is aligning now. Strength without structure will always lead to burnout. That's what you got to know about that community you build. Section 4, my story has to do with I'm still learning in this part of where I'm at in life. But what I do have now is awareness. I know when I am tired. I know when I am overwhelmed. I know when I need to step back. I know exactly how to listen to those signs in my body. Before I did not listen. I just kept going, kept doing until I was on the ground crying and saying, I can't do no more. I don't know what's going on. I know how to listen now. I understand my symptoms. I understand my body. But I had to know how to start listening because not listening, it can cost you. What it costs is it'll cost you your peace. You know, every night you come home from that job, you can't do nothing and you crying and whining, cost you that peace. Yes, sir. It's going to cost you your clarity too because you ain't gonna know what's going left or right because you can't even comprehend. Okay? And finally, it's going to cost you your health because enough of that no peace, which is stress, enough of the not clarity, which is the anxiety, and enough of that bad eating and not exercising, they're going to cost you your health. So the teaching block here, I got to say, strength must be sustained. You got to sustain your strength. Strength is sustained through boundaries. You tell those children no. You tell your boss, I ain't doing that. Not give me 2 other people job and somebody else is doing 1 job, but I'm doing 2. Boundaries. Strength is sustained through rest every day. Get a nap every day. I get it in every day, 1 to 2 hours. Don't call me between 1 and 3. I'm asleep. Strength is sustained through taking care of your health consistently. I'm struggling here, but we're getting it done. That exercising, 2 months now. We getting there, but that eating correctly, we're working on that too. But we trying to get it there. It's consistent. It's that consistent, not falling off the side of the road on Friday night and then want to eat a cake on Saturday. My daughter got me this weekend. Her birthday was this weekend, and she got me. Bought her a cake. I thought I was going to get some. She took it with her, but that helped me out. Consistency with health routine. So I want you to think about this, not me. I've thought about it many times. What system do you have in place that protects you? What system do you have in place that protects you? The next question is, what are your warning signs when your body is telling you to slow down? Okay. And are you actually listening to your body or are you overriding it and pushing through anyway? Because if your health is not right, nothing else will work in the way it's supposed to. Because if your health is not right, nothing else will work the way it's supposed to. Okay. All right. I got another short CTA for you. You got to go to beautifulonions.com. This website is looking real good. I have to say, I've been through a few changes, and you go to this website and you're going to see artwork. I'm releasing artwork to the website. So you got to go check out the artwork that I'm releasing that has to do with my life and possibly yours. So it is a 21 series of art that I sat and came up with AI about my life and how I felt. And the art is a representation of my life. But guess what? I bet you can look at some of these artworks and say to yourself, I was at this point in my life a couple of times. I can see this part of my life here too. Yeah, yeah. That rise again moment. Yeah, that's where I'm at too. So I want you to enjoy what I put out there. I'm only dropping a limit edition of the complete artwork in a book form. But if you would like to get some pieces or something, you can just email me or give me a call and we can come up with some type of pricing. So let me just say this. It's music out there, which I love. I have a beautiful music lounge that you just click on and go about your business while you at work, while you is cooking, while you sitting at home, just need quiet time. I got a music lounge. And also, it is a blog where you can just go get information about things that's going on out there. And then my podcast, all my podcasts are out there with the bonus sheets. So you can download all the bonus sheets and get them too. And it's a book area. I have a book vault that we have, of course, the natural menopause healing book there. And it will be several more of 7-day Rise Again Identity and Rise Again Reset bundles that's there. But go check out Beautiful Onion's website and subscribe and follow me. Tell a friend. Okay, so now a short break, and I'll be right back with final closing. Okay, final scripture. It was 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. Power to me means you already have what you need inside of you. You already have that power. Love means you can stand in truth without becoming hard or bitter. A sound mind means you do not have to live in confusion or constant overwhelmment. Because I remember being in menopause and I just felt overwhelmed all the time. Strength in your voice, strength is in your boundaries, strength is in your peace. So the real question here is, will you walk in strength that you already have? All right. Final closing. This is the final episode of Identity series. This closes out the series. We start we started with identity with God. We moved to identity with self. We then went into identity with assignment. And this one here is identity with strength. This is our foundation for identity. We have a next episode where if you probably miss the identity, I'm going to get you right. I'm going to hit all 4 of them for you. So the next one will be a review of identity. And then once we hit the review, if you missed anything, then you can just go back and take each one from episodes that I've already done. The transition that we'll be moving to after I do the review is going to be a very heavy pillar. It's called the health pillar. This one is going to be a lot. You got to get on board because this is a lot here. After that, okay, we'll be dealing with, we're going to start talking about our hormones. Then we'll go into nutrition. We're going to be going into mental health. We're going to talk about rest. We're going to talk about movement, exercising. We're going to talk about how we need to take care of ourselves physical care, physically care for ourselves because our body is sometimes feel like we might say it's betraying us, but it's not. It's just informing us, but we're not listening correctly. And now that identity has been rebuilt, it has to be supported the right way. So we know who we are, know what we're doing. We already reset. We know who we are. And now this is the health piece, how we're going to support our body and move forward in this series of Rise Again. So this is your girl, Andrea. If this message bless you, please share it with some of your friends and family. These are the type of conversations that are meant for small group, real talk, and honest reflection. So I need you to go on over to beautifulonions.com, download the bonus sheet, sit with it and fill it out so you can get yourself on track for the strength part of what has been going on. Use these guides to walk you through the conversation. And finally, you were never without strength. You just needed to stop silencing it. We needed to speak. All right, beautiful onions. See you again, where we're still pulling back layers and shaping who we are as beautiful onions. See you next time.